Good morning, my name is Amanj Othman and I am going to talk about the second part, episode 1 of Great Expectation. This beautiful story I want to talk about is amazing and going to be amazing. I want a special thank to Mr. Kafi. He let me have that chance to prove myself that I know English and I am good at English. Pip ran back home as fast as he could after he ran from the terrible prisoner. After that, he ran back home as fast as he could. He opened the door of the house and went quietly and carefully to the house, into the warm kitchen. Then he saw Joe sitting along beside the fire. Who is Joe? Let me describe it. Joe is a big, fair-haired man with kind blue eyes. Her eyes are shiny, by the way. After that, Joe said sadly, "Your sister is out looking for you, Mrs. Joy, and she is very angry." Pip was worried because his sister was used to hit him. After that, Joe said, "I hear her coming back. Hide behind the door." Pip hid himself behind the door, but her sister came back and pushed the door and opened it. Then she soon found where Pip was hiding and hit him till he cried. Let me describe Mrs. Joe, Pip's sister. She is 20 years older than Pip. That means she is 27 years old. She is a tall, thin woman with a hard face and black eyes. Then she said angrily, "Where have you been?" Pip answered, crying, "In the graveyard." She said, "In the graveyard? The only reason you are not buried yourself in that graveyard is because of me." Joe said nothing. He was a simple gentleman and he never complained about Mrs. Joe. After those conversation ended, as Pip sat by the warm fire later in the evening, he heard loud noises that seemed came from the sea. Then he said, "Are those guns, Joe?" he asked. Joe answered, "Yes, another prisoner has gone." Pip replied, "What does that mean?" Then Joe explained to Pip, "Last night a man escaped from the hulks, the prison ships. And then he talked about how they were put in the prison ships. Then Pip answered, "Why are they put into the prison ships? And who are those people?" Then out of nowhere, Mrs. Joy jumped up and pulled Pip's ear as hard as she spoke. And she said, "People put into the prison ships because they murder and steal and do all kind of bad things. And they all begin by asking questions." And then she sent Pip to bed. Pip went slowly upstairs in the dark and thinking about the terrible prison ship, and he began asking questions. He was worried, he was very scared. He slept very little that night because he was thinking about and he was afraid of the prisoner, the terrible prison ship, and Mrs. Joe. And that's the end of the part 2 of episode 1, The Great Expectation, the story. I want a special thank for my class, for Mr. Kafi, and thank you all for watching.